some personal brands able to create a reliable, recurring source of income, living a happy lifestyle, while others are confused and going nowhere with their branding efforts? Have you thought about that? Why do some personal brands become profitable and satisfying to do, while others feel burdened and lost? And why are some people clear on what series of steps they'll take towards profitable personal branding, while others are doing things unstructured, like they just want to do it? Well, in this free workshop, I'll share the answers to these questions so you too can create a profitable personal branding lifestyle. Excited? Are you excited? I am excited. Yay! So again, hola, my name is Melissa Profeta, founder of Expert Influence Go and the Hi-Fi Network, co-founder of Social Media Academy, and an influential branding coach. Welcome to my brand new video workshop, the Profitable Influential Branding Workshop. Now, in this first video, you're going to discover a framework for creating a reliable, recurring source of income, living a happy lifestyle. So this is going to immediately help you get a clear path to having a profitable personal brand. Once you get this down, you'll start experiencing brand clarity, direction, and time freedom. So if you're new in personal branding, but you aren't getting targeted audience attention, or you're already branding yourself that isn't leveraging your brand to maximize opportunities and income sources you'll attract, stay with me, because you're going to discover why personal brands like you and me can get brand clarity, direction, and time freedom, and why it's critical you get your direction handled right now. And this is like freaking serious. Now the goal of this workshop is simple: to help you easily create a profitable personal branding lifestyle. Now today I'll show you the first step by helping you get a clear path to having a profitable personal brand, so you can have brand clarity, direction, and time freedom. And that will give you a greater opportunity to experience more time to do things you love, things that you love doing, while making moolah, or money. Are you ready to make this happen? I've got to warn you about something critically important, and not paying attention to this virtually guarantees your branding efforts feel like a burden and directionless. Right now, you might think you always have to create content on a daily basis on all platforms just to be visible. But what if it didn't have to be that way? What if instead you create your 1 year content all at once? Now I get this may be pretty different from what you've heard before about expert influencing, like being visible all day, every day, like creating content here and there. But this fundamental shift is one reason why this framework works so well. Now, in fact, you might have already tried to get a clear path to having a profitable personal brand, and it didn't work out the way you'd hoped. Now, today, you'll see how to do this in a whole new way. That's what I'm going to show you. I'm sure you'll agree Trying to create a profitable personal branding lifestyle isn't always as simple as some people make it seem. It comes with, you know, its challenges. And like maybe you wrote ebooks, conducted workshops, or even created a course. I don't know, whoever you are, you wonder, can I really create a profitable personal branding lifestyle, Melissa? Is that even possible? If this sounds familiar, tell you what, I get it. So many of us personal brands have tried to do the exact same things. And we've heard that little voice of doubt in our head. Once in a while, it's happening to me, wondering if it's possible, blah, blah, blah. I got a lot of that. And I'm here to show you it is, okay? Now, that's why in this video, I'm going to demystify the process of how you can get a clear path to having a profitable personal brand, which will save you a lot of frustration. Frustration is crazy. And in this first video, I'm going to share with you a framework that I've developed after years of trial and error. Actually, talk about 2 to 3 years. And it's called the Influential Branding Progression Framework. If your branding efforts feel like a burden and directionless, this will serve as a tremendous resource to eliminate that frustration and help you get a clear path to having a profitable personal brand. Trust me, maybe you're new in personal branding, or maybe you're already branding yourself, okay? Either way, you're in the right place, because after this video, you'll know how to get a clear path to having a profitable personal brand. That's what we're going to do here. I developed this framework for you because I saw so many personal brands become completely sidetracked while trying to get a reliable recurring source of income. You know, living a happy lifestyle. It's like they're burdened all the time. And for example, I saw personal brands who were new in personal branding trying to get targeted audience attention before they knew how to determine which actionable steps to take. And if you're already branding yourself and you aren't leveraging your brand to maximize opportunities and the income sources you'll attract, it's often because the right content creation system that builds up to profitability isn't in place, which is an important thing. You know, I could go on, but know this: us personal brands need clarity. Because in full transparency, that was my story too, just like you. Now, before I outline the influential branding progression framework and the specifics for each step, okay, you might be wondering how I got into all of this and figured it out. So let me tell you so you can understand where it's coming from. Where am I coming from? Well, it started when I knew I had to create a reliable recurring source of income, living a happy lifestyle in order to get a clear path to having a profitable personal brand. But I wasn't sure I could because I was so busy. And to be honest, I doubted I could do it because I'm not a good writer. I wasn't even a good speaker. And on top of that, I figured it would be expensive in time, efforts, and moolah, money. Now, if any of this sounds familiar, let me tell you, I know exactly what it's like. I feel you. I felt frustrated, and I even questioned myself whether I could do it. But I was tired of spinning my wheels, and I knew that creating a reliable, recurring source of income, living a happy lifestyle was the key to get a clear path to having a profitable personal brand I was after. So I set out to find a way to make it happen. Once I got past my objections and began investing in myself, I started seeing massive growth. I set out to do this, and it's happened. I now create a reliable, recurring source of income, living a happy lifestyle. Now this let me get a clear path to having a profitable personal brand, which is exactly what I was going for. And if you're ready for more time to do things you love doing while making money too, you're going to love what's coming up. That's for sure. Because this story doesn't stop with me. Everything I'm about to share with you is the exact plan I followed to create a reliable, recurring source of income, living a happy lifestyle. And it's led me to experience feelings that I am becoming closer to my dream business and life. More importantly, this means you'll experience more time to do things you love doing while making money. And that's what I want for you. All personal brands like you could use that, which is why I want to make this easy for you. So coming up, I'll share just how I do it. The purpose of Influential Branding Progression Framework is to help you quickly get actionable steps so that you can get a clear path to having a profitable personal brand. To get started, I created a simple PDF to help you keep notes and to provide even more value from this training. You'll see the download link on this page. Just hit pause in the video now so you can download your own copy. Once you're ready, let's continue. So as we go through each part of the framework, I want you to identify obvious areas of opportunity for your current situation. You ready? Let's get started. Okay. All right. Let us begin. So what you're seeing now, this is the Influential Branding Progression Framework. So I've broken down the different phases a personal brand like you goes through in order for you to become truly profitable and influential in your space. Okay? Now, I want you to know that this framework can be adapted by anyone who is going under the business model of education and expertise, or a business who will have a brand phase. Okay, I'm going to tell you more about it later. Okay? The first thing that we're going to talk about is ground zero. All right, so if, for example, you're the type of person who has decided to commit to developing your personal brand, you're the type of person who already knows what problem you're going to serve in the market, and you're the type of person who knows exactly who you will serve, or maybe you may or may not know how to solve your market's problem through your offer, as long as you're committed and you've decided to work on your personal brand, then you are in this stage. and that it's good for you because not a lot of people are able to decide if they're going to get their personal brands out there or not. Okay, but before that, I'm gonna give you, like an idea or some glimpse about where you need to put your focus on. Okay, so I've mentioned earlier that this kind of framework, the framework that I'm showing to you, is best if you are going to be under the category of education and selling expertise. And there's actually 4 different quadrants that Ryan Levesque has mentioned in his book Choose, regarding the type of business model that you're going to have. Okay, so because if you're going to start selling education and expertise, you'd fall into these 4 categories. So either of the 4 categories. So we have product focused, which means you're focused on productizing your expertise. Client focused, it's all about getting clients, serving your client, obviously. And membership focus is about building a community of people, usually online. Event focused is about workshops or in-person events or boot camps. Okay, now this is something you can dabble into through the book Choose by Ryan Levesque, because on my live workshop, I'm going to show you some hacks to building passive income sources, as well as a master plan for people who will attend and stay in the live workshop, where I basically outlined big goals and milestones that you can accomplish and achieve year over year. So how you can basically go from just a brand to having your own membership, your own events, your own agency, basically, and then productizing your expertise. So basically, it's the pathway to creating your wealth, where it will basically start from your personal brand. It's actually my master plan in life. That is why, if you've been around me for quite some time, you will notice that I am on upward spiral, and I want you to have that too. That is, if you allow me. Okay, now let's talk about getting you from ground zero to influential brand foundations. Okay, now there are 3 key milestones that you need to create here. Okay, so number 1, this is about you knowing who you are going to serve exactly. Okay, so you have to know your market like yourself. And we're going to dabble into that later on. We're going to talk more about that later. The second is you have to make sure that your positioning statement is crystal. So make a crystal clear positioning statement that positions you as a leader. Okay, number 3, you have created your aspirational character. So these are the 3 big milestones that you have to accomplish in order for me to get you off from ground zero to influential brand foundations. Let me go ahead and expound and give you actionable steps for these 3 things. And also want to let you know that there is a worksheet in the resources section, which you can download right now. So while I am talking, you can follow, and also right after the workshop, you can go ahead and fill it out all by yourself, or your own time. Then you can just come back to this portal and leave some questions that you have in the comment section. Okay, so most of the time, okay, people forget to create their ideal client avatars, and they don't do market research right away, thinking whoever it is that they found to be buyers are of their offers are all okay. Like, as long as you need my product, you're fine. I'm gonna sell this to you. That's technically found to be ineffective and not how it is if you want to build a profitable personal brand, living a prosperous and fulfilling lifestyle. Okay, because number one, not all customers are your ideal clients. Second, not all buyers are your ideal customers. And the third one, not all people who sells the same thing as you have is your competitor. Okay, so getting clear on who you want to serve is absolutely crucial because you're going to use it for your overall messaging, for ads creation, copy on your website, copy on your emails, your messaging and your email sequences, and so on and so forth, and everything basically. Okay, so in the worksheet, you will see there that I asked you a couple of questions, and you can just fill it out because you have to know the demographics, the psychographics, the geographics, and behavioral characteristics of your ideal client. Now, in this lesson, again, I prepared a worksheet you can use where I've listed the questions you need to answer so you can build out your ideal client avatar. So once you filled out the worksheet, the next thing you need to do is to prepare your positioning statement. So let's move on to the next one. Now, remember what I said. I'm going to teach you how you can begin working for yourself and your business and not provide services that consists of, just task lists for deliverables. Okay, I want you to answer this question right now. Ask yourself, how will someone's life be better or different as a result of working with you? Ask yourself, how will someone's life be better or different as a result of working with you? Okay, answer that question before you start creating your positioning statement. Because a positioning statement has 3 different characteristics. So we have the market. Now, I want you to know that the more specific, the better. You could include the age, gender, occupation, stage of development, the psychographic, socioeconomic status, everything that you can think of. Okay, next we have the problem. The problem, you can easily frame it up so it's easy to communicate. So always use simple and relatable terms. So what's that problem that you are solving? Okay, if you don't know what problem you are going to solve for that ideal client of yours, and it's going to be hard for you to sell anything, literally. Okay, so the next one is transformation. So in your positioning statement, the transformation section is all about the specific result they'll get and how it makes their life better. Okay, again, specific result they'll get and how it makes their lives better. So I'm going to show you some tips. So quick tips before you go ahead and start creating your own positioning statement. You have to start with how you'll do it. Will you teach, consult, coach, provide a service? How are you going to do it? So you can start with, say, for example, you're a coach. I coach, and then the market. So if you're, for example, you are an infopreneur, I teach, and then the market. Okay. Are you going to provide a service? I help, and then the name of the market. Now, just a quick tip, okay? If you're, for example, the type of person who is positioning herself as a leader in their niche or industry, I would recommend starting with consult or I solve something. Start with those consult, teach, solve, okay? The second tip is, what's a common problem your market needs the most help with? So focus on that, okay? Because I'm pretty sure that you will identify many problems, but I want you to write all of them. And based on the target market that you've identified, what is that common problem that your market needs the most help with? Like the one that they can immediately solve. And lastly, what is the end result? This is often forgotten, and they think that through, it's like I've encountered different examples. Okay, so there are people who would say, I help business owners through Facebook ads. Okay, what is the end result? Okay, not, don't just tell me what you're doing, but tell me where you're going to take me. Right? So that's really important. The specific the result, the better. So I'm going to show you some examples. Okay, keep in mind that when you do this, you don't necessarily have to make it perfect right away. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect right away. As long as you have something to start with, you're good, because we can just easily refine it in the long run. So like this one example, I help women in leadership overcome their fear of discomfort by teaching them how to manage their thoughts and feelings, equipping them with the courage to live and lead at their full potential. So where they take it, lead their full potential is the transformation. The next example, I teach female coaches and entrepreneurs the steps to become, actually this is mine, become highly engaging and profitable thought leaders. So the outcome there is highly engaging and profitable thought leaders. Through what? The steps, which I haven't really revealed yet, but it's something that you will see through my landing pages. And then the focus is female coaches and entrepreneurs. So I teach is where I started with. So this one, the other one is we help adults with an inability to draw realism by guiding them through foundational art skill training and major belief adjustments, empowering them to create art that communicates with others, enabling them to pass on fine arts education to the next generation. So this one is pretty long, I understand. But keep in mind that as long as you have something in the works, then it's better, because you can easily refine it in the long run. But why I love this is because it's very, very specific, and they even identify that one thing that the market lacks, and it also includes the outcome. Okay, enabling them to pass on fine arts education to the next generations. But I think the last one can still be improved. But one thing that you will notice is that they used we. So it means that this one is a group of people who helps adults. So they're not, they're branding themselves as a group. They're not really branding themselves or herself, as an individual. So we, that's why they used we. Okay. Now, it's time you do this on your own worksheet. The one that I just gave you, you can just pause this video and then create your own. And then you can go ahead and put what you created in the comment section. So it would be easier for you to practice doing this. Okay, go ahead and pause the video now. Okay. So now the third thing that you need to have to set really good foundation for your brand is to create your aspirational character. Now, this part is so controversial for many people because a lot would say, well, it means that I am not the person I show online, Mel, and therefore I am just faking myself. So I'm a faker. Why do you have to fake if you can be real? Okay, so let me show you these characters and I will tell you why they are relevant later. By the way, what we are going to witness now is my signature strategy when I coach anyone who wants to begin branding online and still want to be their authentic selves, but strategic. Okay, so looking at these characters, so we have Regina George, Dawn, Tony Stark, Basha, and the Suits guy. Okay, you can tell me in the comments which one you love the most, okay? You know why we love these characters in our most favorite stories? It's because we relate to them. And I want you to keep this in mind, that your customers have this story inside their minds unconsciously. And in the story that they're building for themselves, you have to understand that you are also a character in their lives. Okay, you are a character in their life story because you are selling something to your customer. Okay, and you're not just selling yourself, you're selling a story to your customer. So where are you going to take your customer, basically? To give you more clarity about this, let me show you the framework by Donald Miller. Donald Miller is my mentor, and I love him so much because he has created a very easy to understand framework where you can easily position yourself. So in the framework, the brand story framework looks like this. So it starts with the character. The character is your market. Okay, your character, the character has a problem. That is the problem you identified. Okay, now this character or your target realizes that they have a problem. And then, okay, they see you as the guide. Okay, the guide who understands their problem, their fears, and has a solution. Okay, and will give them a plan. So far, if you're following, let me know in the comment section. Okay, so the plan will then call them to action. So it will put them in the chair wherein they're going to decide, am I going to do this plan given to me by this coach? If so, will I be able to succeed or not? So they have that kind of story inside their heads unconsciously. And it makes them feel thrilled because it could, it could help them succeed. It could also make them fail. But they wouldn't really know unless they take your plan. Okay? That's why this framework is super effective. And I want you to understand that since you are a character in your customer story, you're not just an ordinary character. You are the guide. Okay? You are the guide. But how can you become the guide? And how can you build out your aspirational character? How can you be relatable to your targets? Well, you have to be the aspirational guide. Right? So I'm going to talk to you more about that in a little bit. How can you start becoming the aspirational guide? So the first one is you have to really, really define who you are and what you want to be known for. Okay, one of the things that I've always encountered is that a lot of people don't really know who they are unless they write down stuff about them. Okay, if you don't know who you are, like your personalities, your intimidating characteristics, everything about you, then you're gonna need to do a little bit of meditation. And I want you to write down stuff about you. What are the things that I like? What are the things that makes me feel bad, and so on and so forth. Okay. What's the easier way for you to really determine who you are? Okay, by creating your aspirational character, which I'm going to show you a little bit. Okay, because in the worksheet that I gave you, there's a part there where I ask you to put your brand personality. Now keep this in mind and note this down, that your brand personality is your aspirational character. Okay, so we're going to build out your aspirational character now. And I'm going to show you my aspirational character diagram. Now, this particular diagram, it's somehow a little bit related to what Ryan Dice has shown before, but the problem with that is it doesn't look authentic. It doesn't bring out you. It was very, very limited. Okay, so that's why I created my own aspirational character diagram. So this is it. What is your North Star? What's your counter star? What are your non-negotiables? What are your fears? Your aversions? What are your desires, your vision, your mission, your core values? What's your flaw? What are your quirks? What's your mask? Okay, so to make it easier for you, I created this sample. So Tony Stark is a very popular character in Marvel, right? And he has a character. His character is very planned. Okay, so what's the first thing that you see with Tony Stark? His North Star is that he is a billionaire genius. Okay, so North Star means that that's your superpower and the first thing that people see about you. So what is Tony Stark's counter star? It's pepper pots in his case. For when we say counter star, it's what maintains the balance in you and your interesting opposite. So what's the one non-negotiable that he showed in Marvel? Okay. What's one of his unbendable beliefs? He actually showed pretty much a lot, but this one is the one that sticked out the most. So everyone has their own superpower. You have to lead with it. One of the scenes where this was captured was a number of times that he was lecturing the teenage Spidey, the teenage Spider-Man. Okay, so what are your hard truths? What do you stand for as an individual? So what are the quirks, the mastered flaw that was shown in his character? Well, to top it all off, it's being carefree and being a playboy, carefree playboy, and a smartass. But in his case, he had character development. He changed, okay? Remember, who you are changes, but what you are does not. So in Tony Stark's example, I think this is his character during the first and second Iron Man. So one thing that he doesn't like, his aversion, is hiding of truths. So the things that makes your blood boil is what we talk about under aversions. So hiding of truths, this particular character of Tony Stark showed when Captain America told him that he knew and he hid the truth from him. Okay, when he heard that he knew and he hid the truth from him, that's where siya nagalit. Okay, so here is the aspirational character diagram. So just a little review. So again, North Star, it's your superpower. What's the first thing that you see, or what's the first thing that you want people to see about you? It has to show. What's your counter star? What maintains the balance in you and your interesting opposite? What are your non-negotiables, unbendable beliefs, your cold, hard truths, or the things that you stand for as an individual? What's your purpose, your vision, your mission, and your core values? What are your guiding principles in life and the driving force behind your behavior? Aversions, what are the things that you hate, the things that makes your blood boil? What's your mask or your flaw or your quirk? These are curated weaknesses or your vulnerabilities that you're willing to show. You don't necessarily have to put everything out online, okay? You can just identify what it is that you can show online for the meantime before you go all out, okay? Because especially if you are in the beginning stages, because you're going to confuse people. So to make things easier and for you to be more memorable, you have to stick with what you planned out initially for the next 2 years before you go ahead and move on. Okay, so now you can go ahead and get to work and plan your aspirational character. You can simply pause this video right now and then you can let us know in the comments if you have questions. My team and I will get to them. And once you're done, you go ahead and unpause this video and continue. Okay, so now, once you've got your foundation set, you're ready to move forward and get to the next stage. And what is that stage? It's the audience attraction stage. Yes! You get to this stage when you're someone who has created your overall brand strategy, including your aspirational character. So yes, you're moving forward, you're progressing, hooray! So if you're someone who knows how to catapult targeted attention while positioning yourself as the aspirational guide through stories that you publish, then you're definitely on this stage, and you are already 100% aware of where you're headed and how you can get from the traction point to gearing up for your launch. Now, for example, you think you are already getting so much attention as a brand, but want to go to the next level, which is being profitable. Okay, so you want to become this profitable personal brand. I'm going to show you the major things you need to set in place in order for you to move forward. So number one, you've got to prepare and build out your 12-month content plan. So content creation will never be a stress again. Because I understand that most of you are feeling, oh my God, I have work to do. Oh my God, I still need to do this thing for my client, but I'm unable to publish content now, blah, blah, blah. That's because you're not yet prepared. You haven't planned out your 1-year content. There are hacks to this, okay? Second, in order for you to move forward, again, you have to show up and collaborate with other active channels or brand. This will enable you to grow your brand as an individual. But you have to make sure that you have created the initial things that we've discussed. Otherwise, every single activity that you're going to do there won't be as effective as you expect. Okay? So you have to set your brand foundations first before you go out there and doing a lot of this appearances in other channels. Okay? So that is where your goal is to appear in other media channels at least once a month. Okay, I'm also going to talk to you about that and how you can appear in other people's media channels at least once a month. Next, you have to continuously nurture your email list and community in order for you to be a profitable personal brand. If you don't have that yet, we're going to talk about it later on. Next, you have to prepare your launch plan. If you don't have a launch plan yet, it's correlated to your 12-month content plan. So we're going to need to talk about that later on. Okay? And then the last, you should have had outlined your marketing, your sales, and delivery system. Because you have to keep in mind that marketing yourself is one thing, but delivering is another, and then keeping them is another thing, okay? Which actually I'm going to talk about the method that I use in order for you to, have a happier kind of lifestyle, living without too much stress in life and while doing something you love. It's in the second video, which I'm going to publish really, really soon, so you have to watch out for that. So it's called the AMR method of Melissa Profeta. Okay, so the 6 milestones I mentioned, all of these that you're seeing right now, will definitely help you create a sustainable, predictable, and profitable personal brand. Okay, but what if, for example, you don't have these things yet? Okay, let's talk about the components, okay, of what a profitable personal brand actually means. So in this stage, you have completely outlined how you can easily turn or attract a stranger to paying customer. And I think one of the personalities who keeps saying this is John Pagulayan. And I totally agree with him. If you don't know how to turn your cold audience into hot leads, then that is a very, very big problem. Okay. So next thing is, you're gearing up for your launches. Okay, because remember earlier what I said, everything that you're gonna do online, it has to be strategic, it has to be planned out, so you don't feel like you're this person who is I'm gonna launch this thing right now because I don't have money. I'm gonna do this because I don't have that client, things like that. Okay, in order for you to prevent that, in order for you to become super focused what you're gonna do next, and you're not cramming, this is the best way for you to go, to have your 12-month content plan. Really planning your year first. Next, in this stage, it means that you have built all systems that allow you to continuously put out content with the main intention to attract clients and more customers. Now, my favorite systems expert are Tisha and Day. So they really talk heavily about systems, but it's on a general overview for the entire business, because they are certified OBMs. So every single thing about your business, okay, everything about automations, they're the best people to go to. But you are definitely a profitable personal or influential brand if you have this. And the next thing is, you're in the stage if you are maintaining your momentum and continuously shows up to your audience. Okay, you are in the stage if you're continuously building and keeping up your network relationships, but at the same time, okay, they're not wasted energy, because you are able to convert them into actual buyers. Okay, so here's a question. What if you identify yourself as someone who is not in this stage yet? What should you have in place to become a profitable brand? So let's cover this right now. So number one, you should start designing and nailing down your products and your offers. This is super important, because what is in there to buy from you if you don't have anything to show them, right? How can they buy from you if they ask you, what do you sell? Oh, how can we do this? And then you've got nothing to show. Oh my God, that's so bad. Okay, so you have to nail down your value ladder and your offers. And there's a strategy behind this, by the way. Second, you should complete and create your customer success path. Now, I'm a geek in terms of habit creation, gamification, reward system in e-games, and I met this really awesome membership mentor. His name is Joe McLaren, and then bam, everything that I did in my notes, he practically created a name for it. And I was like, oh my God, this guy, why is it that I had to I had to review and create all of these myself if he already has an existing explanation about it? So it's super effective, because it's part of the plan that you're going to give to your customer. Remember what I said earlier. You're going to give a plan to your customer, so this is the one. It's your customer success path. Next, you should have outlined your 1-year paid content plan and distribution. Because if you don't know what your paid and free content is, and you don't know how to distribute it, you're gonna sink in your dream. And it will be hard to materialize everything. Okay, so the longer the time before your execution of the longer the time of the planning before the actual execution, the better. That gives you ample time to prepare and create your awesome creation. Okay. Next, you should have created your launch strategy. So when it comes to launch strategy, it really depends. One of the most awesome launch strategies is the one created by Jeff Walker. So the PLF, product launch formula. And one of the best people who practices this so well is Miguel Campaner and all of his mentees. Okay. By the way, Miguel and I work together in our personal branding agency called Digital Dynasty. That's why I really know he's really doing an awesome job with this. The last but not the least is you must have a marketing strategy to implement to your business. Okay, a marketing strategy to implement to your business. Because what you're going to do, what we're going to talk about, is not just a hobby, but it's an actual money-making sales machine. Okay, and you have to treat it as a business. And I want to be honest with you. So what I told you, it's really, it looks easier said than done. And there's an expanded kind of discussion that we can do in order for me to really tell you how you're going to really do all of these things that I mentioned, or how you're going to accomplish all of the milestones that I mentioned in order for you to become that profitable person. And of course, once you're done achieving all the milestones that I've mentioned on this stage, then you can go ahead and start building your business. The stuff where you build your business is actually a separate kind of discussion, because that's business building. It's pretty long. We'll mainly talk about what we're gonna talk about is product delivery and strategy in the future. How you're going to build your case studies, stories, so you can use them for your next launches. So how are you going to create your repetitive income, your retention strategy, and how you can grow and scale your business? But for now, I'm going to talk about the next stage, which is the thought leader transformation stage. Now, this stage is when you are comfortable in speaking in front of bigger audiences, and you have been presenting ideas that convert into customers or followers, or people who start admiring what you do. And this stage is where you begin to have a sustainable and more predictable amount of income on a monthly or yearly basis. And what you do basically is ensuring that you're always on top of mind, that you're the best go-to person of your niche. And in the thought leader transformation stage, you're also consistently receiving invites and offers from different brands or media sources. And you just continue sharing your story to inspire and catapult new audience, or pull the audience to your brand and then convert them. So it's more of increasing your visibility and strengthening what you have established and breathing inspiration. Okay, so you inspire people to move, basically. So now the last stage before continuing, I want to show you this quote. So it says, what got you here won't get you there, so do something different. Credits to the person who said what got you here won't get you. This is actually a book, okay? Then I added, so do something different, because it's reality, okay? The things that you did back in 2012 might not be as effective as you think it is in 2021. If the things that you think worked for someone in 2020 might not be as effective as you think by the year 2022. So you have to test stuff. This is where the marketer side of you should spark. But if you're not a marketing person, then just go ahead, hire. Okay, hire someone who can help you with your marketing. All right. So let's assume that you were able to create systems in place, build a team, and actually create your brand. Then we'll talk about the next stage, which is the influential brand amplification stage. So say you have created and set everything in your business, from visuals to automating stuff to launch plans to creating different kinds of products. Man, you're already there. But how can you amplify it? So in this stage, you're more of elevating your presence through lots and lots of PR. You begin to start turning your customers into actual, real brand advocates. You have an overflowing pool of leads and engaged audiences who are ready to buy from you. And you are already continuously doing what you love to do. And you're there to nurture and keep delivering while helping your customers achieve more success. That's what an influential brand amplification stage means. So this is like This is the goal. This is it. Okay. Now, to summarize, so far you have been aware of the different milestones and every stages in the influential brand progression framework. Okay. And the consistency and continuity level is basically, the one that is on top. That's the stage where everything you do is already part of life. It's like your ikigai. It's like every visibility type of activity that you have is linked to you. Every time you appear anywhere, it leads to helping you become that profitable personal brand. So now that you're clear about the step-by-step you need to accomplish to create a reliable recurring source of income, living a happy lifestyle, the big question is, how do you have a recurring revenue, all while living your ikigai or direction or purpose in life? Hands down, because this is the most important key to growth for personal brands like you. If you can't make customers stick around, then you won't have a recurring revenue, living that happy kind of lifestyle. And without this, it means you'll keep thinking of ways to hit your money goals instead of maintaining it while doing something you love. And that's really important to eliminate the stress in your life. So what if instead you could keep customers, get new ones, and still have a predictable income year over year? What if that's something that you could do? This doesn't mean having to work much harder. It's about working smarter, okay? A way better result for the same amount of effort, perhaps. Yeah, actually, it's possible. So now, how do you have a recurring revenue, living your ikigai? That's exactly what I'll show you in the next video. Aren't you excited? I am excited. If you're new in personal branding, this will serve as the foundation. So you see how to have a recurring revenue, living that ikigai or that happy lifestyle. And if you're someone who's already branding yourself, then you'll be able to quickly put this into practice so you can make your customers stick around. So I'm going to show you my method. I'm also going to introduce you to examples and provide you a process that you can just download and use as an ongoing reference and tool. Now, once you know exactly what to do, you'll see it's easy to have a recurring revenue, living a happy lifestyle, or doing exactly what you love to do. And I'll show you how in the next video. Now, before we go, that was fast, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me, what would life look like if you could create a reliable recurring source of income, living your ikigai or your happy lifestyle? How will life be different when you get a clear path to having a super profitable personal brand? Let me know in the comments below, okay? So I'm going to read every single comments you have, and I'll respond to as many as I can. I promise. And if you found this video useful, please share it on Facebook, Twitter, or even by sending a friend the URL to this page so they can also understand what's the path that they have to take. So what you've learned here today is a simple system. It's a simple framework for creating a reliable recurring source of income while living your ikigai, or the life that you want, or the life that your ideal life. It's a game changer in helping you create a profitable personal branding lifestyle, actually, because some don't really give you that kind of map. It's a key step along the way in reaching your goal as well. And that's when you can get a clear path to having the profitable personal brand. And more importantly, have more time to do things you love doing while making moolah or money. And what you're learning in this workshop puts you on the right path to get there. Okay, because I already laid out everything for you. Just have to execute. So next up, we'll talk about how to have a recurring revenue, living that happy lifestyle, that ikigai, by following a simple process to help you make customers stick around. Okay? Let me know if you're ready in the comments. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. So for now, you have yourself a great night. Go ahead and execute. See you in the next video workshop. Bye!